Right, so we're back for another deep dive, and this time it's all about the 2025 Formula One season and all the crazy predictions flying around.
Yeah, it's that time of year again. Everyone's got an opinion, and we're here to dissect it all.
Exactly. We've got this really interesting F1 blog post to work with today. It's got some juicy quotes from some big names.
Yeah, and it seems like everyone's really focused on two big things. Ferrari's super ambitious goals for the season.
Yeah, they want to win it all right.
Pretty much. And then there's the whole Ferrari versus McLaren rivalry, which has gotten even spicier with, Lewis Hamilton joining Ferrari.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be interesting. Let's start with Ferrari then. I mean, they've never been shy about wanting to win, but this year feels different.
Yeah.
Benedetto VIGNA, their CEO, he basically came out and said, we're here to win, both in Formula One and the endurance racing.
Straight up victory was the word he used. No messing around.
No messing around at all. I mean, they definitely have the potential, right?
Yeah.
The history, the resources, the fans, but...
Absolutely. But they've also got some big challenges ahead of them. Their SF25 car is basically brand new this season, which is a huge gamble in the last year of these regulations.
Right, and then there's the whole Lewis Hamilton thing. I mean, he's a 7-time world champion, obviously, but getting him settled into a new team with a new car, that takes time.
For sure. Even for someone like Hamilton, there's going to be an adjustment period.
Yeah.
And what's interesting is that Vigna, when he talked about Hamilton, he didn't really focus on his driving so much as his impact on the Ferrari brand.
Oh, yeah. What was that all about? It almost felt like he was downplaying Hamilton's skills and just focusing on, his star power.
Yeah, it was a bit odd, right? He even used the word polito, which is Italian slang for like a little dig, a subtle criticism.
Oh, really? So not a full-on attack, but definitely a little poke.
Exactly, like saying something that sounds nice, but with a little edge to it.
Interesting. And this kind of reminds me of something we talked about before, right? John Tott's doubts about pairing Hamilton with Leclerc.
Exactly. He wasn't so sure about that lineup compared to Sainz and Leclerc. He thought it might cause more problems than it solves.
So we've got Vigna's Polito and Tott's skepticism. Not exactly a warm welcome for Hamilton and Ferrari, is it?
It definitely adds another layer to the whole situation, that's for sure.
Yeah. It'll be very interesting to see how it all plays out within the team this season.
Absolutely. And, speaking of interesting, let's move on to McLaren. How are they feeling about Hamilton jumping ship to Ferrari?
Well, I don't think they're sending him any farewell flowers.
No, they are not. There's definitely some tension there. ANDREA STELLA, McLaren's team principal, he was pretty diplomatic at first. He talked about how historic it is for Hamilton to join Ferrari. He even said he was kind of moved by it.
Yeah, but then he basically said, we're going to make life hell for Ferrari on the track.
Oh, he did. He did. Not in so many words, of course. But the message was loud and clear. Acknowledge the move, be respectful, but then, bam, let them know you're coming for them.
Yeah, it was a pretty brilliant move. I mean, you got to respect that, right? So respect, but then lay down the gauntlet.
Exactly. And what makes this even spicier is that Stella actually worked for Ferrari earlier in his career. So there's some personal history there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's like a classic underdog story.
Yeah.
Then McLaren had that amazing season last year, and now they're not just happy to be contenders anymore. They want to be the ones everyone's chasing.
Yeah. They're hungry for more. And apparently they've been working like crazy on their 2025 car. The rumor is they've made some big improvements to their power unit, focusing on energy recovery and deployment.
So that means straight line speed, acceleration.
Yeah.
They could have a real advantage there.
Potentially. So we've got Ferrari with all their big talk and their new car. And then we've got McLaren breathing down their necks with this potentially game-changing car. It's going to be a clash of the titans.
This is why Formula One is so great. The unpredictability, the constant drama, and the sheer talent on display. It's amazing.
And don't forget about the other big players. Zach Brown, McLaren's CEO, he's not ruling anyone out. He said any of the top 4 teams could win it all. McLaren, Ferrari, Red Bull, Mercedes.
Wow. That's a pretty bold statement considering how strong the competition is.
It really shows you how competitive this season is going to be. You've got Red Bull, the defending champs, trying to hold on to their crown. And then there's Mercedes. Never count them out, even without Hamilton.
Right. They always seem to find a way to bounce back.
They do. And they've been putting in the work trying to close the gap with the leaders. They've been focusing a lot on their aerodynamics so they could have an edge on those high-speed tracks.
So it sounds like we've got a 4-way battle for the championship shaping up, each team with their own strengths and weaknesses. It's going to be fascinating to see how it all plays out. I mean, it really feels like Formula One is entering a whole new era. You've got these classic rivalries coming back. The technology is just insane.
Yeah.
Everyone's hungry to win. It's electric.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about individual teams anymore. It feels like a turning point for the whole sport.
So where do we go from here? What does it all mean?
Well, I think one thing's for sure. It's going to be a crazy season, full of drama,
Hmm.
on and off the track. Every race is going to be a nail-biter.
And the stakes are so high with the new regulations coming in.
Yeah.
They're not just fighting for this year, they're fighting for the future of their teams.
Exactly. 2025 is going to make or break some teams. It's their chance to prove themselves and set themselves up for success down the line.
So, big question. What's your prediction for the season? Who's going to take it all?
If I knew that I wouldn't be here, I'd be on a yacht somewhere, living the high life. Honestly, though, that's what makes it so exciting. It's impossible to predict. We've got 4 teams that could all realistically win it all.
All right, let's break it down then. You've got Ferrari,
Hmm.
the history, the passion, the resources.
Right, then there's McLaren. They've got that momentum from last year and this new car that could be a real game changer.
Red Bull, the defending champs, they've got the experience, and Verstappen's on fire.
And then there's Mercedes. Never count them out. They've got that resilience, and they always find a way to surprise us.
It's like the perfect storm. 4 teams, all with their own strengths and weaknesses. It all comes down to execution, adapting to the track, keeping their cool under pressure.
And we can't forget about the drivers. They're the ones who actually have to get the results. Hamilton, Verstappen, Leclerc, Norris, these guys are the best in the world. Their performance is going to be crucial.
It's going to be a season of incredible driving. Daring overtakes, brilliant strategy. But there will be mistakes too. Crashes, heartbreak. That's Formula One.
That's what makes it so compelling. It's unpredictable, it's human drama, it's the constant pursuit of perfection.
We're on the verge of something special. A season that could completely change the face of Formula One. I can't wait to see what happens.
Me neither. It's going to be one hell of a ride, that's for sure.
So there you have it. We've gone through all the predictions. We've talked about the rivalries. We've analyzed the potential game changers. But now we want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on the upcoming season? Who do you think will be crowned champion? Let us know in the comments.
And thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the world of Formula One. We'll catch you next time. Keep those engines revving.